Hello, hello. Welcome on into another episode of the Whiskey Crusaders. I'm Will.
I'm Sarah.
Not Matt.
On today's episode, we're going to be talking about Bushmills classic Irish whiskey.
Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and click that notification bell. Matt, tell us a little bit about this Bushmills that I'm surprised we've never reviewed before.
Seriously.
Hell, we have not reviewed the Bushmills nor any of their products ever. We barely ever drank Bushmills on this show. So I finally figured we should get around to Bushmills, only the second, best-selling Irish whiskey in the United States. That's all, but
Right?
whatever. All right. Now, there's the fun story about marketing about Bushmills. They're like, we're the oldest distiller in the world. We have a license in 1608. Well, there was a family in the area that had a distillery in 1608. It wasn't the Bushmills family, but whatever. So, but that's what they traced the lineage to a guy named Thomas Phillips, who was given a license by King James I in 1608. So that's where they get their 1608 from. But anyway, the real family that started Bushmills was in 1784 by Hugh Anderson. They would kind of go off and on between the years, and they've been continuous since 1885. In 1885, there was a massive fire and burned everything to the ground. And after then, they rebuilt it because need to have whiskey is very important. And since then, it's been continuous. But anyway, and that was by James McColgan and Patrick Corrigan, who bought it in 1860, and they're the ones that had it burned to the ground in 1885. So it was a blended spirit up till the came over here 1890 the first time as a blended spirit on the SS Bushmills. Really original name, guys. But hey, you know what? Show up here with some Irish whiskey on it. Really good stuff. Of course, then it led into the 1920s. We have our beautiful Irish Civil War, Prohibition, and almost killed the entire Irish industry. Until there was only one distillery by 1972 left in all of Ireland, which owned both Bushmills, Jameson, and everybody else under the sun. By 1988, it was bought by Pernod Ricard. By 2005 to Diageo. But the best part is in 2014, they were traded to Jose Cuervo, so they get a 50% share in Don Julio. So doesn't you feel good at Bushmills being traded for a tequila? But, hey, it is what it is. So anyway, it's so famous back in 2008 for their 400th anniversary. The Bank of Ireland put out a banknote with the distillery actually on the back of it. It's named for the water source of the St. Column Rill, which is a tributary to the Bush or River Bush. So very original name. Bushmills comes from the Bush River with all the mills along the river. I'm like, wow, guys, you were original. I was like, that's where the name came from. That's what the town is also called for the exact same name. But hey, whatever, it is what it is. It's one of those funny things. They actually only make single malt there. They've never, ever made grain whiskey at Bushmills. It's all triple distilled. They actually get their grain when they blend it from Middleton, which, of course, makes Jameson. When 1850, there was, of course, a tax put on the barley. They said, we were not making unmalted barley or adding corn or anything. So they just paid the tax, and that was that, and have ever since. So it's kind of interesting. In fact, the entire distillery was basically also blown up during World War II in Belfast. The Germans bombed the shit out of it. So that was the end of their headquarters. So they could still distill, but not mostly had slowed down because of barley production. Obviously, need that for the troops. So they house actually United States troops there, which is really cool, and actually give them a free bar, which I think is a pretty awesome place to get stationed during the war. Is at the Bushmills Distillery. So what a sweet deal for them. Also, good marketing.
If you're going to get shot at, you might as well be able to go home to a bar.
Exactly. So, might as well. Like I said, they didn't actually make a single malt that came to this country till the 1980s. 1983, starting with a 10-year, was now a 16, a 21, and a 12, which is also new. Then they also, of course, make the Red Bush and the Black Bush, which, of course, different variations of their sherry and higher level chart, older age things. Also, is very famous in multiple shows as Rescue Me, The Wire, Peaky Blinders, Jackie Brown, Independence Day, and Better Call Saul. And like I said, most in Americans, we have the thing with this is the Protestant Irish whiskey. Jameson is the Catholic Irish whiskey. It's another big thing that they like to talk about. Also, the only whiskey to win a gold medal in 1899 at the Paris Expo. So that's the other fun things about Bushmills. So let's talk what's actually in this bottle. You actually might give a crap about. All right, this is 40%. It is triple distilled. It says it's at least 3 years old by Irish whiskey law. This is actually 5 years old, which is filled in ex-American oak barrels. Also has a little bit of sherry barrels in this. All the grain whiskey is in ex-bourbon barrels from Middleton. It was introduced in 1888, and the recipe hasn't changed since. And so the weight crazy the barrel aged one of this is 85%. That is an insanely high barrel point.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, cool. Whereas like bourbon is 125. So big difference there. But whatever. All right, so it's a very little amount of sherry. The color, is nice. All right, let's see what we think of this regular old Bushmills.
I feel like it's more malt heavy on the blend than it is the grain. The grain
Yeah.
is in there. You can kind of
Yes.
feel the sharpness to it.
Back in the back, though, it's
more
Yeah, there's
cereal
no
grain
doubt
to
there's
me.
more of it in here.
Yeah, I get a lot of that malt forward.
I do too. And then some of the fruit starts to show up.
And
Even
buttery.
like the red fruit. Yeah, very buttery caramel toast.
And that's some apples, oranges,
Yeah.
vanilla, buttercream,
Get a lot of those berries.
Mhm.
Sherry,
a little bit of rose water,
strawberry.
slight metallic.
I think that
Smells
slight
like
metallic is from that grain.
Yeah, that's from the grain whiskey for sure. That's from the Middleton that's added to this. There's no doubt
Yeah.
about it.
Jameson.
There's definitely more malt in this than grain for sure, based on the nose, which is a nice thing. Which I think is why I like Bushmills better than Jameson in general. When it comes to their
Right.
basic recipes,
I agree.
Yeah. To me, it smells like a 33% blend of all three of the categories.
well, they actually don't put any single pot still in this. This is only malt and grain. There is no single
Okay.
pot still. Bushmills does not use single pot still whatsoever.
Okay.
Get a lot of buttery.
It's interesting because I get a very buttery note on
buttery
this one.
cookie.
Yeah, which I guess is that's just coming off their single malt,
Yeah.
off their their beautiful stills they use there. In fact, they used those stills so much that during Prohibition they kept pumping out whiskey. And the day that Prohibition ended, they had a steamer with the largest amount of archery ever loaded onto a ship headed to Chicago the day Prohibition ended. So that's
Wow.
pretty amazing. All
They
right,
were
so what's
ready.
the saying?
It's good.
It's actually pretty nice.
It's nice. It's clean.
It's very
Mhm.
clean. It's almost refreshing feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's not an
with ice
effervescence to it.
Great outside.
Yeah. It's very summertime.
Mhm. Yeah, nice vanilla cream. Got a little bit of that corn metallic, but it's very in the background. Like I said, that nice apple, salty, effervescent, caramel butterscotch. Nice
Yeah,
summertime
what's-
drink with the cube, I think.
What'd you say the proof was on this again?
It's 40%, so it's 80 proof.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No
And it
sugar
drinks like
base
that.
here.
It's very, very smooth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a good term for this. I mean, it is.
It's
That's what it
shiny.
is. It's worth pour.
It has a
But
bit of a
it's not.
shininess to it.
It doesn't need to be trying to cover up any flaws either. It's just nice.
Yeah. I could definitely see this over a big cube in the summertime.
That's what I was gonna say.
Something like out in the outdoors, just something that
Mhm.
would actually be refreshing.
Yeah,
Like
by
here
the
in
pool.
Texas, you'd want to drink it really fast
Oh,
over a cube in the summertime.
it's got
because,
nice
you know, 106 degrees, whatevs.
lemon, grapefruit too. Now that's nice. It's got a lot
Yeah,
of nice
it's-
citrus on it too.
For being, their basic Irish whiskey. What's
Yeah,
this run
for
at price wise?
$22. It's
Yeah.
cheap.
There's more going on in the glass than you would think there
Yeah,
would be,
there is.
for sure. And it seems to be growing as it's sitting there for a little bit. And
Mhm.
if we were to have more time, it'd probably grow more. But
Yeah.
I think it's great for a great beginner step into
Absolutely.
Irish whiskey. I would definitely personally go for this over Jameson as an intro.
Agree.
10
Totally.
times out of 10, I would
Agree
absolutely drink
completely.
this over.
Way better whiskey.
Well, and I'm talking, as far as like introducing somebody to Irish whiskey.
Yeah.
Most people
Yeah,
reach for
totally.
Jameson.
Yeah. Or proper 12.
Or proper 12, and
good
boom.
God, this is so
The funny thing is, proper 12 is just really crappy, like reject Bushmills. That's the funny part of it. That's like barely it made 3 years old, and they said, "Here, take this crap off our hands."
We
That's
can't do
awful.
anything with it. You do
it's
something
not
with
going the direction we wanted it to go.
It doesn't live up to our standards.
Yes,
have no
to say the
standards.
least. No, but it did turn into a multi-billion-dollar corporation. So good job.
Right?
right.
Oh, because of whoever backs it. Whatevs.
Really good marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would definitely reach for this over others
definitely.
for sure.
Mhm.
All right. This is good stuff. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and click that notification bell and come hang out with us live on Monday nights. And until next time,
Keep on crusading. Better whiskey in your glass.
cheers.
Cheers. All right.
Yeah.
Now, finally, the time we've all been waiting for, non-chill filtered Bushmills is next.
Nice.
I am very, very excited about this next one. Tonight, you can pull out your 46% Bushmills, your Prohibition edition.
Is that what the new 12 is as well?
No, the new 12 was only 40%, which is a shame because apparently it was distillery only. It was 47,
Oh,
which I'm very
man.
disappointed they took it down.